What's up, everybody? V Show here. Hope y'all getting all the love, peace, and respect that you deserve today, because you fucking deserve it. So, this is Yellowtail Chardonnay. Yay, it's my favorite. But, I'm going to talk about something serious here. So, I'm looking at YouTube. You know how I do. So, the Today Show put out a video talking about the number of teachers who are quitting hits a new high. A couple of posts back, you'll have to look at my channel. I'm talking about how we're not going to have school the way that we're used to, as far as like kids going in every day and shit like that. When the pandemic hit, kids started remote learning. What the whole remote learning thing opened up is that it showed that people can follow fucking directions. Schools were closed. They had remote learning. That's what kids did. In my video, a few posts back, I was talking about how we're not going to have school the way that we are used to as far as kids going in. My prediction was that, yeah, that's what it was. It was a prediction that all school stuff was going to be online. The number of teachers who are quitting hits a new high. For anybody that doubts me and says, I don't know what I'm talking about, guess again. You better get prepared for your kids to be learning online, y'all. I'm telling you right now, there is no way in the world they can keep going the way that they're going. If you look at the news, there are kids getting shot. There's kids getting shot too, but there are teachers getting shot by their students. 6 years old. That was here in Virginia. The mom finally got indicted for the gun. But there are teachers getting shot. There are teachers getting their asses whooped by students. All you have to do is go on YouTube and put in teachers fighting students or students fighting teachers, and you'll see that there are teachers getting their asses whooped. Something happened with the pandemic. People that are adult were already having a hard time dealing with life on life's terms. Now we have a bunch of children who are expected to deal with life on life's terms, but their parents can't teach them how to do it. Because the parents don't even know how to deal with life on life's terms. The parents are the ones out here doing all this other crazy stuff. The crazy thing is, my mom was a teacher. My mom was a teacher in the days when the teaching profession used to be respected. Everybody knew Mrs. Jones. This was back in the days when teachers lived in the same communities that they taught in. My family lived 5-10 minutes away from the school. The kids knew where we lived. My mom was so cool with most of those kids in PS 155 in Brooklyn that on any given weekend, we would have some of our classmates come by our house, because Mrs. Jones used to do arts and crafts. Mrs. Jones used to play music in her house. They don't have that anymore. Now, if you're a teacher and you show any kind of interest in your students, you have to prove that it's not anything that's nefarious. Back when I was a kid, I'm not saying that that stuff didn't happen. It's just that now it's so prevalent that most teachers don't even live in the same communities that they teach in, which is a shame because you don't get to really, really know the kids. The kids and the parents don't get to really, really know you. I used to want to be a teacher. I used to want to be a teacher until when did kids start going crazy? My mom was already retired, if I remember correctly, by the time I first heard about a kid doing something to a teacher or something like that. She was already retired because I remember thinking to myself, I'm so glad that Ma stopped teaching because I would lose my job. I would lose my job because anybody that knew Mrs. Jones, Miss Bernadine Jones from PS 155, anybody that knew her knew that she was fucking cool as hell. But being cool as hell doesn't stop you from getting your ass kicked because there's kids in these schools that they don't know how to process stuff. You tell them no and now they want to fly off the handle and they want to throw things, they want to hit you and all of this other stuff. I would have lost my job. I used to want to be a teacher, and then once that stuff started happening, I was like, I'm going to hurt somebody. If they come off on some dumb shit and want to hit me, I'm throwing hands back. So, the Lord spared me from being a teacher. But the teachers that are out here today, they catching hell, y'all. They're catching hell. So, mark my words, your kids will be learning from an online environment. If you don't believe me, keep your head in the sand. You better start preparing your kids. It's almost like the world, it's almost like the world is preparing itself for people to not have any kind of social interaction. Unless you work in certain industries. You know, I work in a hospital. We have to have social interaction because people are going to come in. There are certain places where you're going to have to deal with people, but when it comes to schools and stuff like that, I'm telling you, y'all, they're going to stop having kids come in. It's going to be an online learning environment. Mark my words, y'all. Mark my words.